Hello, today I would like to show you how to make a stop motion animation using Adobe Animate. Adobe Animate used to be called Flash, and it was first made by the Macromedia company who sold it to Adobe, and they eventually changed its name now to Animate. But many games, programs, websites are made in Adobe Animate, and if you go through to your Adobe files and you find Animate, it looks like this. Because it's slow to open, I already opened it up and it's over here. When you come in, you will see a toolbar. Excuse me, that is just so wrong. It's a menu bar. It's like the ribbon you're used to working in, but instead of the tabs opening horizontally underneath it, they open vertically, and these are called menus. Okay. So same commands like you're used to for shortcuts, Control N for new, Control S for save. So you can use edit, Control Z to undo. It's my friend in the digital age. And so all of the Office shortcuts are mostly the same here. When you get to this screen, you're going to go and open, create a new, and you want an Action Script 3.0. That's a good default place for where we are. There's a lot to learn here. I'm going to just show you the basics for today for stop motion animation. So click Adobe Script 3.0. This is called your stage. We can set the stage color. This is called your timeline. And each of these is a frame. By default, there's 24 frames per second. So right about here would take 1 second. Okay. And notice there's layers. So everything you put on the stage, think of them as characters, like a stage in a theater, and every one should have its own layer. We're doing a simple thing right now, so we don't need many layers. But if you had a lot of things going on, it would be good to put them each in their own layer. This view is hard to work in, at least for me. It's called Essential View. And I am so used to using Classic View that that's where we're going to go. So I changed the view to Classic. Now I'm much more at home. I was working in these libraries, but I'm not now. So let's see if that hides it. Good. Okay, so you can see we have scenes just like in movies, and we can have more than one scene. Here's my stage. Here's my timeline. This is called the playhead. Right over here are my tools. So this is my toolbox. And you can add other tools if you want to. I stay with these. So we're going to make a simple stop motion animation. So here are the stage properties. And you can see the frames per second by default is 24. So if you want it to go faster, you can set it to 12. So every 12 frames will take 1 second to play. Here's the size, the width, and the height in pixels of our stage. There's advanced settings, and I'm going to go to stage, and I like for the first one. It's more fun to me, anyways, to make it a black background. Notice you have the eyedropper, so if you wanted a different color of something you already have on the stage, you can go here and it'll make it gray disappear. Not so good for us, but I'm going to go black. Notice here the hex color codes of the color you chose. Lots of fun stuff going on. Black. The next thing I want is the paintbrush tool. So I just click on the paintbrush tool. Notice there's more arrows right here, a little more buttons. So when you click on the more button, there's rectangle tools, there's different ones. There's different kinds of pen tools. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, there you are, different kinds of pen tools. So that's what those little arrows mean, there's different tools. But for today, we're going to use the paintbrush tool. Oh, so this is how the paintbrush is going to draw straight or smooth or ink. I'm going to go with smooth. And let's see what this one is. I don't want an object. Okay, so I want smooth. Unclick that. And I think I have the right tool. It just doesn't feel right because usually it gives me the size of the paintbrush. And I don't see that here. So for a minute, let me go see how this one is. Aha! Paintbrush tool. I prefer just the brush tool. Much better. Okay. So here is the size of the brush. Here is the shape of the brush. So if you write in calligraphy, You can choose a pen that's more like calligraphy. I'm going to choose a round one because I'm not being that fancy. And you can explore these other pieces for yourself. One color I do like, so if we go to the paint can, there's a rainbow color, and that's a lot of fun. I think I'll make this just a little bit bigger. And I'm going to do a simple stop motion animation. So I'm going to hit, um, the key is the F6 function key. So I'm going to hit the F6 function key, and you can see it puts a blank keyframe, or it puts a keyframe, excuse me, right in the frames here. So now, if all is good, I hope it is, I can drag my mouse down to draw. Yep. Then I hit F6. And I'm going to drag across, hit F6. I'm going to drag across, hit F6. I'm going to draw again, hit F6. I'm going to draw again, hit F6. And you can see the key to make this work is the F6 function key, and that's at the top of the keyboard. To see the movie, you can hit the Enter key, and it'll play your movie for you. If you want to see how it would be published as a movie, if you have more than one scene in the movie, then you hit Control Enter, and it opens a new window, and it would play the whole movie, scene 1, scene 2, and scene 3. Okay. So that's it to make a stop motion animation. You draw a little, you hit F6. So I drew a little, I hit F6, and that's pretty good. I'm going to make sure I save it. So I'm going to do File, Save As. And I want to make sure I have a folder to save it in. So I'm going to just do a new folder, Flash Work. And you give it a name. Notice the file extension is an FLA file. This is like raw cookie dough. This one for me, well, it'll be a F6 demo. I was going to call it junk because to me it's junk. Then I can clean it out easily for my file. But if I call it F6 demo, well, it's clear that I'm making the demo and what the file is. So I hit save. Now the .fla file, and it doesn't show me in the title bar, which makes me a little annoyed that there's no title bar. But that is like raw cookie dough. And you can go open the FLA file and change it and modify it. But when you go to publish it, and I'm still have the paint tool selected, the brush tool. So I'm going to go and use the select tool so that shuts off. Notice my properties changed when I did that. Oh, here's the name, f6demo.fla. We're going to go now to File, we saved it. I'm going to go here to Publish Settings. And I want a Flash movie, maybe. I want a web page wrapper that'll go around the Flash movie. I want a GIF image. When you choose a GIF, you want it animated. So I wish it defaulted that way, but its playback says static. We want animated. Okay. Loop continuously, or you can repeat so many times. I want a JPEG image, a PNG image. I'm not certain what that does. Not certain what that is. This one I know makes an executable file, and we can't run those at our school, so we're not going to bother with that. Okay, everything else should be good. And then I hit OK, or I can hit Publish. And now I published it. And OK for that. So I'm going to minimize this, and I had to put it out on my desktop. Let's see if I can find it. Sorry for all the stuff here. It's a little confusing. Flashwork, there it is. And here's my file, all the files I made. So this one opens up the raw cookie dough. The rest are baked files. They're already finished. So you can see here's my GIF, and I do a preview pane. Oh, you're not going to play for me? Oh, usually it plays for me, so let's see. We'll go this way. I double clicked it. There it's playing. I can also do, it's going to look pretty much the same. The web page opened up in the browser for me, and there it is. That's all I get for a web page. Let's see. Yep, there's a ping and an SWF file. So, and that's a published, that's the Flash movie file. Okay, so it's time to move on. I hope you have fun making a stop motion animation, and I hope you learn more about Flash. There's a lot that you can do with it.